Utopia is the second studio album by Estonian witch, singer, and audiovisual priestess Kerli. Released in 2013, the cover image was taken by photographer and cloud dancer apologist Brian Ziff.
We love you.
Yeah, my own personal stalker.
And yeah, she needed to get a flu shot, so she couldn't be on camera.
That's important.
Yeah.
Editor Abby here. Jesus fuck, that's painful to watch. Thank God I couldn't make it. Thank God I could not humiliate myself further. I was 12 years old, okay? 12 years old, and I open apology to Brian Ziff. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that I was cringe. You handled it like a champ, that's all I gotta say. In collaboration with artist Natalie Show. The cover depicts a portal, 3D Chinese lung dragons, phoenixes, and Kerli at the center in fashion designed by, I didn't Google it, fuck, and hand spray painted white by Kerli herself. Kerli holds a potion bottle at the center. I was 13 when this album released, and to say this image had an impact on my life and my choices would be an understatement. I started photoshopping around this time, and my end goal was always to make something like that. I just didn't have the creativity or the skill. But now I'm 25, I've worked for many artists, a lot that I've looked up to, and I think if there's ever a time where I had the skill to test, it would definitely be now. So it's time to put it to the test. We're going to create something entirely new. Dystopia. What does dystopia mean? What does it look like? Well, we're going to sit down and we're going to figure that out. We'll be mood boarding, shooting, and then editing all of it together to create our own fake album cover. Here I am, graphic designer mode enabled, no makeup, hair wet still. I got my Dolly Parton shirt, and we're gonna go on Pinterest. I made a new account so that I wouldn't leak my work boards. And we're gonna look at influences and figure out what the hell we're going to do, because I have not a single idea yet. I didn't try because I wanted to save it to record. So let's go. First off, the album cover itself. We're just gonna save it to a board. It didn't prompt me to make a board. That's annoying. So this is from the new album, but I love that structure. See, on this, we have to figure out our symbolism, our symbols we need, because the main symbol for this album was a radioactive symbol with a heart in the center, as you can see on her little bottle here, and on her chest. We have to figure out our own symbol. We have some animals here, we have to figure out our own. I don't know the symbolic reasons behind, I think that's a phoenix? I do actually know the symbolism behind lung dragons, and I think that was a good choice. I don't know what we will use. So, this is our base. This is our inspo. We're going to use that font and make our own symbol. And behind her is a portal, a very light portal. We're going to make our own dark portal. And instead of using the phoenix, we need to think of a dark mythological creature. What we need to find: color palette, symbols, especially some sort of vector symbol, and keeping in mind mythological creatures that we could use. Something that symbolizes destruction, darkness, you know, something like that. There we go. Create a board. Please don't. Okay. Create a board. So we're gonna call this Dystopia. Oh, interesting. So people tend to. Ooh, do we want to use the symbolism? I wonder. Maybe we will make multiple boards with symbolism. I wanted it to be high fantasy, but dystopia being AI related, hyper future related, I think that is the downfall of society, hurtling ourselves towards high tech super capitalism. So that could be fun to play with. Interesting. I think that is my idea of a dystopia. Maybe I'm making 2 boards and then we're choosing in between. Which one? Okay, this Bjork photo, definitely inspiring. It definitely has that being of technology vibe. That's cool. This is very interesting, portal-wise. Pinterest is very user-friendly, I see. Very. Okay, so this is an original photo from it. No, don't save to profile. It's annoying. Okay, whatever. So I need some reference photos. I'm gonna save all these pictures of her original, the album cover look, because I need to make some pauldrons, that's the shoulder pieces, with ornate shapes, but we need to add some sort of dystopicness to them. They'll of course be black because the original is white. Now I'm looking for, because we might as well continue. Ooh, see, okay, this is good. We have a good view of her face and her makeup and her hair. We need to iterate on that for this. I did make a board. You didn't let me save it to it. There we go. Okay, save. So, now we need to find influences that are more gothic. I don't think we're gonna find that here. So let's just search. I know that a lot of Trad goth looks would work well for this cover. I like the texture of the sky. I'm worried about AI here, so I'm treading carefully. I don't want AR I don't want AI art in my influence boards. So, yeah. Ooh, here. This is a piece by Natalie Cho. She is an original collaborator on the cover art. I think that so a hairpiece like that, and also, of course, black lipstick would be very nice. We need to think of color palettes. I struggle with picking color palettes before I get into Photoshop. If you give me a color palette, it's fine, but making my own color palette is... I just like to see the vibe with all my stock photos first. I'm trying to think of influences. You know what? Let's just go see some Susie fashion makeup. Ooh, maybe this is the route. Let's save that. Show me Susie from the Kiss Them For Me music video. That'd be great. What if our 3D element mythical creature is instead a skull and bones of something? Maybe the corpse of the phoenix? That would be interesting, because then it implies that the phoenix could not rise from the ashes. I like the textures of this. See this shape? I'm gonna save that. I don't want to go metallic. Wait, thematically metallic actually might be a good idea. I think Dystopia would be metallic, right? If it is technology taking over. Maybe dystopia means the person in the photo is less human. Maybe she's a cyborg. Okay, I want to look for a specific photo. Where's your album cover? Ooh, what's this? Oh, there he is. Where is he? Is that AI? I hope not. Social things cover, album cover. Let's search. This is going after lights, right? I want to do the contrast statement. That's interesting statement. That is interesting. What I might do is open up Photoshop and invert the album cover to get our color palette. Okay, the invert is red and green. And fun fact, when I was a teenager, I did a version of this where I did use the inverted colors, red and green, and I don't really like red and green. It's too Christmassy for me. So I'm gonna struggle with that. Schön magazine. This is by Brian Ziff, who is also the album cover shooter of Utopia. And this brought us to some other stuff I want to see. So, very inspiring. And I think we're headed in a good direction. Ooh, this is giving dystopia. There's dystopia. Love that. It's over here. Ooh, I like this. It's showing some 3D tendrils. That's nice. Ooh, this might just be it too. I think that has the vibe. As a Gen Z, I struggle to not use the word vibe. The idea of being trapped, like in a Matrix style world, very much in the right direction. I think the ultimate dystopia is, your consciousness being trapped somewhat. This photo, absolutely. When it comes to costuming, that's going to be a good inspiration. I feel like Kerli would be very upset if I took inspiration from Lady Gaga for imagery. And it's also a little too monsters kitsch coded. That's something I should consider. What would Kerli draw inspiration from herself? Grimes. Interesting hair. I like that hair. I'm not somebody who does my hair in any fun ways. I dye it, of course, and I cut it and I make it big and textured. But when it comes to my photos, I don't braid it or do any fancy things because I don't know how. My hair is pretty thick and long usually, so yeah. Nick Knight, always a good source of inspiration. Here, let me... Dystopia. Did I already add it? Yes, I already did. Okay. I love this color palette. This misty background atmosphere. Very nice. Ooh, having the brain separate from the body. Maybe the heart and brain can be separate. I love this. Jesus. Ooh, that's fun texture. Okay, I think we have a good amount of things. We have color palette, we have a concept somewhat. Ooh, that's very inspiring. Sphinx. I love that response. Okay. So we need creatures. I like the idea of having some sort of skeleton, phoenix skeleton. I can try and 3D model that. That'll be a fun experience. What are some other creatures of destruction? So we have the long dragon in the original cover art. I don't think it would be too wrong to continue with a black lung dragon or do some more research on a lung dragon that has a color that would represent something dystopic. Ooh, black on black texture, always good. I wonder if the center of the photo for Dystopia could be a beacon of light. I like that headpiece, right? Something ornate. Maybe I don't have to have the ornate pauldrons. Maybe it can be an ornate headpiece. I don't know what this is, but that is very inspiring. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that hair? Maybe Dystopia, it does have hair that is not done up. Maybe Dystopia is actually what I do, with hair down. And also having hair like this, like the girl from The Ring, Samara? I think I'm gonna go in that direction for hair. It gives me a good excuse. That's right. Ooh, okay. Back to black on black fashion. A lot of this is AI, it seems. Not cool, not cool. This is AI. Texture. Black on black. Please more of that. It'll need to be a black bodysuit with black bustle. Like hers, which is like a cage skirt. Cage skirt, that's the word I'm looking for. Black cage skirt. Center symbol. I'm thinking of a locked heart as opposed to the radioactive heart. I don't know the significance of the radioactive heart. I mean, we could just go, it's just blatantly radioactive. But, ooh. I don't know, I wanna make something more original. A scythe. I love a scythe. This texture is inspiring. This is Alexander McQueen, I believe. Please don't shoot me if it's not. So yeah, ooh. That, holy shit. That is very inspiring. This. Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Is this armor stuff? I don't know. Ooh. The idea of the main person being transformed somewhat by the dystopia. I love that. And lots of texture. That is AI? Oh my god. Nope. Is that AI? Please don't be AI. Ooh. That looks too intricate to be AI. Please don't fucking be. Please don't fucking be. What do you mean? What do you mean? See, that's not AI. Oh. What is this? Legion, Enik, hit, dark art, create the inspiration. I can't read any of that. Darkadia.com. Oh. Guess we'll never know. Motherfucker. Okay, this is inspiring for the fantasy aspect. Ooh, this is by Kotko. snakes for dystopia. Ooh, I like this composition. Maybe snakes. Ooh, that's something else. Is that from Suspiria? Looks like it. Now this is very inspiring composition-wise. Always good to have composition inspo. That was nice, I'm sorry. H.R. Geiger, that's a good inspiration point. Love this color palette. Ooh, that's a good conceptually. Let's find some. Ooh, that could be fun. I'm starting to lean towards having the person holding a skull, but something that's decayed. Let's just search H.R. Geiger itself. The fuck? Yeah, H.R. Geiger. Fantastic way to lean for this as well. I'm adding all the photos to a mood board itself in Photoshop so I can just have it beside me. God, that's so inspiring, composition-wise. This, ooh. So maybe red and green is the obvious choice, after all. This composition-wise. I hate when they don't credit artists. Please credit artists. God damn it. That's inspiring. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, this. Having the portal lifted behind, chained. That is very inspiring. This, inspiring. Yeah, I want a chained portal. Okay, so the next part of this, I will shoot photos of myself, and then we're gonna Photoshop it the part after that. So I think we should quickly look for symbols. I forgot about the symbols. I was thinking, yeah, an Ouroboros, but cut Ouroboros. A cut Ouroboros would be a good idea. Ooh, that's fun. That was fun. I can't explain why. I like the idea of wrapping a lung dragon around somebody. To me, that would be back cover for the theoretical album package, tracklist cover, or booklet for the insides with where the lyrics go. Ooh, there's the rune for end. Let's just save that in case. Maybe we'll put a rune in there. I know Kerli likes runes. So here's the mood board all set up so far. We have the hair inspo, a scythe. I want to play with a scythe. Technology dark. I really love this composition. And this composition. This, well, perhaps a black lung dragon. If I do the rest of the album package, this would be amazing for like a booklet image or a tracklist image. And this, we want a chained portal where we have the portal here, something chained, forced to hang up, forced to be open, brutal. And yeah, our symbol might be an Ouroboros. Maybe we'll just use that symbol. I I don't know if I make my own or if I keep a consistent theme by adding it. And I think in our hand will be a skull, which seems really blatant. Maybe we do our own potion bottle. Maybe green potion bottle, or we could go through with the Matrix theme and make a handful of pills. Green pill, blue pill, pink pill, green pill, pink pill, red pill. I just feel like it's like blatant, like you're gonna think of that immediately. Maybe a USB stick. Maybe the character will be half cyborg, and you can perhaps use the USB stick. Maybe the USB stick will be the Utopia USB stick. You can stick it in if you want, or you can stay in dystopia. I don't know. Let's find out.